based on the timing of his Binding Light.
With this composition, I mean, they're running Flicker double range. Fnatic did this over in Europe. Isn't this a little bit more about dealing with...
From TSM, FlashX going to catch Rekt out and slows him on down. He will be able to get on out with the boosts from the boost. And that's going to be a Treant stolen there by TSM. But, man, you know, FlashX's Flicker, when we see it, it's always a treat.
Yeah, absolutely. And some really big early aggression is going to be the name of this game for TSM.
Oh, wow, he's just tanking up that forward barrage. Doesn't care, Rekt. This time doesn't have the boots for the boost. But he will be able to walk away. You know what? I kind of see where FlashX is going with this Flicker. You've got a Sky and a Ringo that you want to get on top of, but you've drafted double range, so you don't really have huge engage potential. So you pop the Mooncloak at an advantageous time, get that Kestrel up close, get that Gwen up close, because you're not in... I don't feel like you've got huge risk of the Kestrel being blown up instantaneously, so you can kind of get away with it.
Okay, well, we'll have to see, because if you do actually use out the Mooncloak and you get nice and close, like BestChuck can be your engage, FlashX can be your engage, like even VONC doesn't really need the Mooncloak, but late game into that Crystal Castro, if he can sneak up on somebody just by himself, he can immediately put down that active camo, blow someone up with the 4 Glimmer shots because they're stunned. So I actually think that there's quite a bit of engage here for TSM ready to roll. And FlashX, I mean, just bush ganks for days. That's all this is going to be. VONC very likely alone in his jungle, and that has to be something that Xenotek and perhaps even Rekt, I feel like that they gotta do something about it. Like, I don't really feel they're gonna get much done in the lane.
I'll have to find out. You just see Xenotek rotating up for a gank, but actually Iraqi's in trouble as he gets slowed and the Glimmer shots rain down hell. That's gonna be first blood going the way of VONC, and that double stealth in the lane is always a trick to deal with. You're gonna have to have perfect vision from Rekt if he's gonna be able to deal with it in this game.
No, well, it might take a little bit for that vision to come online. Again, just more harass here in the lane. BestChuck going to start coming quite a bit ahead at this point. I mean, IRaqizorro, the long walk of shame back into the lane, right? But 7 last hits. He's going to clean up a few of them here, but it's just going to be, again, rinse, repeat, aggression. You do the jungle rotation, VONC comes up, double stealth. You got Gwen, if we can accelerate to level 6 as well. You're going to have one-shots from anywhere, and that's a Crystal Kestrel. If she gets cooldown reduction by, mid-late game, they're just going to be raining down.
Yeah, they are going to be raining down fire. This is scary stuff, and with that buckshot connected, that could have been trouble, but they are going to be able to get their recalls in. TSM, their early rotational play, pushing this wave in to try and deny as much farm from IRaqizorro.
It's almost VONC sharing the farm in the lane. Is most of it went over to Chuck. VONC did pick up a few, but again, pushing in.
Pushing in, Xenotek comes up, lays down a bit of fire with the forward barrage, but it's just to buy space for Iraqi more than anything.
And Xenotek early on, like with the Sky, can definitely be scary in a 1v1 situation, can be definitely scary into that late game, but as long as Flash does not neglect the fact that he needs a little bit of shielding, he's going to be able to tank up quite a bit of the damage that Xenotek will put out. And it's very measured damage, right? There's not very big spikes with a Crystal Sky. She's going to be throwing down the forward barrages, looking for the reposition, more forward barrage, and Flash can really be a shield for the team up against that early on. And so far it's worked out great, because 4 minutes in, BestChuck picks up a Tension Bow.
Yep, Tension Bow on this Gwen. So much damage that can come out with the passive on the Gwen. We're going to see another gank. The stealth squad onto Iraqi as he gets sniped, but Rekt with a clutch Giphian wall will knock away the perpetrators, and that's going to be IRaqizorro safe for now.
Rekt is just really trying to make sure his team is survivable at this point.
Yeah, gonna go very low as VONC's in trouble. Xenotek trying to lay down the damage, but he can't. FlashX dives forward. Oh god, where did Xenotek go? And a route onto Iraqi, but he gets away. No, it doesn't. The one shot came out, but it was all a distraction as BestChuck was right in his face laying down the pain. This turret, it's gone. It's done and dusted. TSM, they're just styling over GANKSTARS in this early game, and it's all down to the stealth, man. FlashX and VONC just able to sneak into the lane unnoticed, and Iraqi essentially has to play like VONC and FlashX are constantly in the lane. That's how he has to play.
Well, he's also going to have a hard time pushing forward for farm. If we do freeze it out somewhere towards the middle there from TSM, that's a pretty big tool for denying farm over to Iraqi here as well. And already, I mean, there's still a difference of BestChuck leading in the last hits, but I really feel like with that turret gone, they can really start to try to make that gap grow as best they can. So TSM, first item, Tension Bow, works out great. 3 kills, early turret at the 5-minute mark. VONC, though, first item into a Frostburn. There's no crystals here. There's no shatter glasses. It's just going to be a Frostburn. So we'll have to see how that factors into it. But FlashX is the best slow in the game. And at the same time, now we have a Frostburn on top of many, many Glimmer shots here from VONC.
Yeah, that's clearly TSM is saying we don't need the damage that comes out of a Shatter Glass on the Kestrel, because if we just slow GANKSTARS to the oblivion, then BestChuck will lay down the damage. VONC will get there as well. They're really looking for this utility with the Frostburn added on top.
Whoa, Raki got caught at the end of that Glimmer shot, and just look at already. I mean, he's missing basically huge hit points.
Wow.
VONC has already bought enough pain with just the Frostburn.
Yeah, that was 500 damage on the one shot, just about coming down onto Iraqi's face, and that's going to force him to go back to base, heal on up, buys himself a weapon infusion on his way out, because GANKSTARS are recognizing that despite not really wanting to, they may be forced into a fight by TSM.
And it's a little bit more of a story of whoever's in the lead. If they pick up infusions, you have to match it. It's just, yeah, it'll put you behind in your items, especially, again, when you are behind. But at the same time, if you don't have that power spike to fight, if you're saving up, you don't have the power to negate what your opponents have. And that is just a giant problem. And so, yeah, Iraqi, he realizes that, he picks it up. Xenotek has his there as well. Rekt has gone from Fountain into the flare gun. And really, that's a good first step. But how effective will it be? Like, TSM has already gone ahead 2,000 gold. They're pushing in for a second turret repeatedly here at this point. And GANKSTARS are still very much dancing to the tune of TSM.
Yeah, you know, FlashX is in perma-stealth. VONC, when he wants to activate it, can do the same thing. You know, Contraption, it can go only so far for GANKSTARS. Yes, they may know where TSM are, but will they be able to do anything about it? One shot flies out and lands on top of Rekt there. Will take that one for his allies, but this gold miner is being stolen away by TSM. You know, under the eyes of GANKSTARS, they know it's happening, I believe, due to that flare that flew out, but really there's nothing GANKSTARS can do at this point. They're just trying their best to get some items under their belts.
Yep, and just using that flare gun on rotation, making sure we know where TSM is. Not sure it helped direct that point, but
still
look at the stealth. Such a long stealth from the Kestrel.
Right, you know, just itemizing into crystal bits and then, you know, turning them. He's going to go towards Shatterglass second item here, VONC. So, you know, he hasn't decided against Shatterglass. It's just they wanted the slow first. Oh, FlashX got spotted at the last second. Xenotek gets the intuition that he's about to get dropped on top of, and VONC lands a bit of damage, but it's not too much. Reflex block means that that Hellfire Brew won't do huge amounts of damage, but now the siege begins once more. TSM going for this turret with the Glimmer shots onto it. They certainly do a lot of damage from range. They don't really have to commit too hard. FlashX gets rooted, but Iraqi's getting bursted. Will get the fountain to keep him alive and inside this siege, but Rekt is going low. Xenotek, oh, the burst onto Xenotek. There's nothing that GANKSTARS can do. Rekt gets taken on down, and FlashX says, go, 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 turret's down. That's Xenotek down. That's the ace for TSM. A triple kill comes out for VONC's Kestrel, and this is just annihilation from TSM.
That's a big play from Flash right there, but you gotta question what was Rekt doing at that point as well. He was so far forward. Xenotek was already trying to make that exit, and Iraqi was not going to be stepping foot forward. Not with BestChuck, still with that tension bow and a sorrow blade as well. So yeah, maybe it was the martyr play. Maybe Rekt was trying to make sure that everybody else lived. Maybe he was trying to make sure that the turret lived, but nothing lived by the end of it. And they took the choke point turret on top of that as well. So going from bad to worse as TSM, they do get that shatter glass. Quite correct there, Dowsy. Flash and Rekt, though, both into contraptions. So now the vision game might change a bit, but that is such an advantage for TSM. 7,000 gold in 10 minutes, my friend.
Yeah, you know, and you mentioned it, contraption completed for FlashX at the same time, which means that he's going to be able to clear out as much vision as possible on their route into the jungle. That's going to be a breaking point completed. BestChuck's at his 3 damage item point. Iraqi has just finished the tornado trigger, which means he's got 2, and he's optimized into a bit of defensive as well. Right now, TSM, they're just pressuring hard. All they need is one team fight, and those Vainglory turrets are going to start falling.
Oh, they have no idea.
They don't. That's wrecked. Wow. Good night. Goodbye. See you again. That's Iraqi stunned up as BestChuck comes forward. A triple kill for BestChuck. Steals away the one shot, and it's like clockwork. All they need is one team fight. These Vain Crystal turrets are going to start falling.
Okay, well, TSM seeing the 12-minute game from Hammers is just like, no problem. You know what? Here, hold my shatter glass. Let's get this done. 11 minutes. 11 minutes, man. 11-minute win. Not too shabby here from TSM, but big aggression early on. I feel like we're seeing a lot of early game comps here, but they're working, right? Nothing stalling out.